Yujiro Hanma, the force of nature who wields ultimate violence as the pinnacle of physical force, enters the Chainsaw Man world filled with devils like himself. How would he handle a place where being feared increases one's power? What would he do? How strong is the ogre compared to the creatures lurking? And most importantly, who would he fight? Yujiro, upon awakening, naturally seeks out the strongest. However, that isn't something that's very clear in this world, as many strong devils reside in hell, and coming in contact with some powerhouses can't be really considered reasonable. It's not like the Bucky universe where Yujiro can just rock up to one of their houses and begin fighting. So let's say he becomes aware of the hybrid devil known as Denji the Chainsaw Man. Let's explain who would win that fight and how it would play out. After, of course, you hit that subscribe button and leave a like. 5k likes for the next installment of my Yujiro Isekai series. Denji's overall power and regeneration abilities pretty much are fueled by blood, and we know one major thing about the Buckyverse. They pretty much have infinite blood. Is this a joke? I have no idea. I guess the fight is just going to be a draw, if only one thing wasn't a factor. Yujiro naturally will know how to kill this somewhat immortal devil, as these panels describe the weaknesses of people just appearing in his eyes. So taking Denji's heart and keeping him away from blood is an easy way to win, considering this ability and Yujiro's overall intelligence and skill. Of course, if he's strong and fast enough, so let's break down both, starting with Denji. I'll be considering both Denji as the Chainsaw Man and some implications of power we got about Pochita alone, as a way to get an understanding of their full power for this crossverse battle. First up, we have his regeneration and durability in various forms, with him surpassing things like this on screen here, surviving falls like this, fighting the Eternity Devil for 3 days by using this regeneration with blood ability, explained here more so, but very impressive stuff. Can also fight on fire without any real issues, can recover from being cut in half, can survive from being shot into space and pretty much missiling down, and can survive when his heart is removed, not destroyed, just removed from his body. Physical strength isn't the easiest thing to gauge for the Chainsaw Man universe, as most things Denji does throughout the series involves him slicing up devils who have an unknown durability, but he's done the following things: shown strong enough to catch a flying car, can easily send devils flying through walls and lift up part of the ground like this. Regarding speed, it is once again hard to determine, but he has been shown reacting to and tanking bullets in this scene, and even avoiding point blank bullets as the best crossverse speed showing I could kind of find. You should be able to argue that in his later transformations, considering his fight with Makima, he should be much faster, as he was able to keep up with Makima, is in a stronger and faster state, but how fast this state actually is can't really be determined exactly, just faster than him reacting to bullets, I guess. By how much, we don't really know, so the best thing we can really use is him reacting to bullets in a crossverse setting. However, the best overall feat for the Chainsaw Man Devil technically is defeating the Nuclear Weapons Devil based on these implications. The actual circumstances of this fight aren't known whatsoever, making it pretty hard to comment on, but this doesn't make Denji the automatic victor against Yujiro, as the ogre throughout the Baki series has been stated to be above nukes multiple times with these various panels as you see on screen here. You can pause and have a read if you want, there's quite a few. Also this character guidebook for Yujiro, which pretty much outright confirms that he's above nukes. So for now, I'm just going to say they balance one another out for this, as it's kind of complicated and hard to definitively prove for both of them. So nuke stuff, just wiped out. For Yujiro's power and abilities, I won't go over everything, just the major aspects that will be used to compare to Denji, and see if he's faster and strong enough to win this fight. As always, we have the earthquake stopping punch he performed in base early in the series. This is before he had his improvements over time and him not even using the demon back, which does amp him. fighting in walls barehanded against those with guns, of course reacting to bullets. And if you want a more direct example, we have Bucky pretty much dancing around bullets during the Oliver arc, and Yujiro is much faster and stronger compared to this version of Bucky. He pretty much negged the Giga Elephant, something that could be considered, I guess, a low devil level, maybe something like that. It was fighting like a whole little mini army and was eating like an absolute insane amount. He's shown to be able to tank lightning and has been stated to be able to dodge it if he wanted to. This is also in a point blank context, so much more impressive. We have this speed feat from Musashi, who Yujiro is relative to. This can be kind of wanked to an insane degree, but just the base level of it is still very impressive. Time perhaps yields to Yujiro. Maybe. Thumbs up. True. And of course stated to be above tanks, missiles, guns, etc. and nukes, as I mentioned before. Possesses peak martial arts skills, which includes the technique known as Zhao Li. Would this use on Denji's chainsaws? We have seen someone like Retsu kinda use it against Musashi's blade. Yujiro should naturally be better at using it because it's Yujiro, but would it work on chainsaws as an example? Let me know your thoughts on that down below. Thus, with all this, Yujiro clearly has more raw power and speed, but you could say durability goes to Denji, mainly considering his regeneration, as for what we've seen from Yujiro, he doesn't have regeneration. Now let's discuss how the fight will actually play out. Yujiro will be interested in this creature and push him to transform and unleash more and more of his power. Denji using Yujiro's blood as fuel or regeneration is unlikely due to the clear strength and speed difference, so I guess feeding on others will need to be his requirement. Yujiro would however eventually get tired of this same process. For example, it's not in character for him to fight days at a time, especially against someone who's clearly weaker than him, so he may entertain the aspect of Denji getting stronger, getting blood to regeneration so Yujiro can just beat him up more, but over time he'll get bored of this and want to end this. Perhaps Musashi the Psycho would be someone who would have like an endless fight with Denji, allow him to get blood and then continue slicing him up. That could be some insanity. So eventually when Yujiro wants to, he could straight up blitz and rip Denji apart and destroy his heart, of course achieving victory and killing the Chainsaw Man. However, Yujiro's story in this world doesn't end here. Being known as the one who defeated the Chainsaw Man Devil, this will naturally amp Yujiro with the fear aspect, as many devils from hell were scared of the Chainsaw Man, so those people being scared of the Chainsaw Man may actually transfer their fear into the ogre, and he could even be considered as someone untouchable, as devils with specific hacks that could be dangerous for Yujiro may just get stunned by the ogre's aura at this point. Something we actually see throughout the Baki universe as well. His aura just absolutely negging people. Of course, Yujiro could just massacre various devils and humans if he wanted to increase his fear amp even more. And I think this is something Yujiro would actually do in character. Before becoming the strongest in the Bakiverse, he was dedicated to push himself to grow in power. And even while number 1, he continues to strain and grow. If he's in a world where he can naturally amp himself by just killing others and making people scared of him, I think Yujiro will be more than happy to just kill humans, kill devils endlessly to see how strong he actually becomes, and eventually he'll be able to absolutely neg things like the Darkness Devils or the Primordial Fears. Do you agree with me? I hope so, but this is Yujiro vs the Chainsaw Man universe. I hope you enjoyed. Check out all the other stuff in the description if you haven't already. And of course, shout out to the Mad Lads who support the channel via the Patreon. But yep, that's it guys. Peace.